Today, I'm producing a pop and EDM beat from scratch, and the finished results sound like this. My name is Reid Stefan, realest puppet in the game, and today I'm producing a pop and EDM beat from start to finish in Ableton 12. I'm taking you through every step from melodies, processing, drums, 808s, mixing, and mastering. We're going all the way from a blank Ableton session to my finished beat, which you can hear in its entirety at the end of this video. So let's jump right into the sauce. Here in our blank Ableton 12 session, I'm going to change the tempo to 122. It's a good middle ground between pop and EDM vibes. Now, the first instrument I want to start off with is a nice deep guitar. I really like the Nexus guitar instruments, so just to move quickly, I'll pull up something from there. Let's start with something like this. I like how it's kind of a Western twang to it. Maybe I'll just turn off the delay and reverb here. Oh, nasty. That already goes pretty hard, but we're going to edit it and make it even fancier. Now the pitch envelopes can be found right here on the envelopes tab, MIDI control, pitch bend. And let's do like a little drop off right here. And then just to make sure that it perfectly resets to 0, I like to just put like a little ever so slight bend at the beginning. First plugin I want to add to this guitar is the stock Ableton saturator. I like increasing the gain +10 and decreasing the gain -10 so that you're just adding a little bit more grit and crunch to your guitars. Hey, 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 hey. And next I'm going to sauce this up with some granular delay. There's this new plugin by Linear Sounds called Glitter that I've really been enjoying for both sound design, delays, and everything in between. I like to use it in an audio effect rack with the mix at 100%, kind of like an aux track in any other DAW. But here in Ableton, you press Command G, create a chain, rename it dry, and you've got parallel with your glitter and dry signal. Let's take a listen. Now with grain delay, it's all about sampling little tidbits of your audio to make kind of sporadic delays instead of a standard quarter note or half note delay. Grain size controls the length of the audio snippet being echoed. Position controls how far back behind your playhead the audio is being sampled from. A low value like 20 milliseconds sounds like a tight chorus effect, and a high value like 1 or 2000 gives you a random glitchy sound. An amount controls the quantity of samples that are being taken. It's kind of random, but it's also kind of controlled by what you dial in here. This sample's closer to the attack. This sample's closer to the tail. Now another trick that's happening here to the echoes that makes them sound so cool is they're being pitch shifted. Now if I put this back down to its original 0 semitone, it sounds a lot more like a regular delay. That's deep. Let's try smoothing it out. You know, I kind of like the flutteriness of this. Let's go back down to a lower smoothness. Now here you're also mixing in traditional delays with its own separate mix knob. And for this, I think I'm going to mix in quarter notes. If you're familiar with regular delays and not granular delays, this section is going to feel more comfortable to you, but blending this is really what turns it into a full-blown sound design tool, in my opinion. And you also have an option of forwards or reverse tails. This is where things get really epic because sometimes blending forwards and reverse audio gives you something totally new. Let's try turning down the glitter signal. And now let's use the filters here on our EQ to isolate it just into the mid-range. Yeah, pretty epic delay. We're gonna use this a couple more times throughout this beat because this just gives me some really cool flavors that I've never been able to reach with regular delays. Let's come up with a plucky guitar to complement this legato guitar. Let's go and find some muted guitars. Ooh man, these muted cleans are, all three of these are bangers, but I'm gonna go for this one called Muted Clean 1. Let's turn off the built-in reverb and delay so that our original MIDI sound is just this. And we're gonna go same notes, but different rhythm. And we'll quantize these. Make a nice loop out of this. Let's try saucing these plucks up. Instead of a really slow delay, I want to do a really fast one, so we'll do 16th. And instead of filtering everything, let's try doing really bright delays because I want this part to feel completely different from the last part. So let's just do a little boost here in the high end. And these are already pretty high pitched notes, so instead of pitching these up, we'll leave these at regular pitch. And let's see how we do. Hey. Let's do less reverse. Maybe in the middle. And now I'm going to give the echoes a little bit of motion. So I'm going to throw a Shaperbox just on the delay send. The dry signal we're going to sidechain compress later, but these I want to have on their own forever pumping, just to kind of give these their own kind of mysterious vibe. Just a sneaky little texture that we can have quiet in the background. Now I think I need some drums just to drive this groove in the background, so I'm going to go to Whole Loops Raw Hits 3 and see if I can find a kick. This is the best drum kit at Whole Loops if you're looking for samples that could fit into pretty much any genre, but still have some sort of natural, organic flavor to them. Oh. This one's pretty tough. Let's put this one on a sampler. Now let's record in some kicks behind our guitar mutes. Hey. Already has me jamming out here. Next, I need like a rim shot to be like the just to make it really feel like the party's getting started. Let's check out the rims folder in Raw Hits 3. This one, you know what? I kind of like this one. Let's go. Now that we have a kick drum here, I can get back into sidechaining this guitar and have an actual kick to sidechain the input to. And we don't need to duck it to the whole kick, we could just duck it to the attack of the kick by turning up the frequency on the input filter. Let's turn this groove into more of a bass line with a disrespectful 808. I set out to create the absolute most fire 808 sample packs that are the easiest and most inspiring and transferable across genres to use. I've been using these things in just about every beat and they are disrespectful. Ooh, this one's clean, I like this. Let's make a new track. Double click it onto there. Let's do a nice 808 dark red vibe. And let's see what happens if we just copy this MIDI down and rename it. Let's try an octave down. Hey. Sometimes just sampling the tail of an 808 makes the most fire bass ever. this groove is already grooving. So let's keep it moving. I think this part needs a gritty lead synth, not something too extreme and too EDM, but definitely a lead synth to make it feel like there's a drop or something going on. Let's make it pink. I'm gonna pull up a copy of Serum 2 and load up one of Kara's vocal presets, which gives you that instant EDM vocal synth vibe that makes leads sound awesome. Kara for Serum Volume 1 and Kara for Serum Volume 2 have both been updated for the new Serum 2 synth, and they sound poppin'. And these libraries are available at iamkara.com if you want to get some vocal presets inside your Serum 2. That's sick. Oh, I could definitely do something with this. Let's actually try borrowing the MIDI from here with the pitch bend and everything. Yep. And of course did it with the sidechain, but not too much. Let's just turn this down a little bit now that we got it kind of locked in. Now I'm really liking those gritty textures that we're getting from Glitter, so I'm gonna drop another one on here, but see if there's anything fire for me in the presets bank. So another thing I like about Linear Sounds plugins is they always got so much heat in the presets menu. Let's put it in an audio effect rack with a dry channel and a glitter channel, just like before. And I'm gonna put this at 100%. And one thing I really like about this is you can click the mix knob to lock it at your preferred mix value when you're using it on an aux and scrolling through presets. That's already fire. That's just the default preset. That sounds crazy. Let's try the next preset. Let's try Drum Cruncher. Woo! That's fire. Let's just push up the high frequencies some more. This is tight. Without it, it's cool, but when you put glitter on, that's really cool. All together. Next, I want to add a plucky synth. So let's go back into Nexus and see what they have in the plucked category. Okay, I can work with this. Hang on a second. Let's just double click here. Let's try throwing a glitter on here too. I really like the texture of this Drum Cruncher preset from Glitter, so let's copy and paste this whole effect rack and the routing and everything down and check it out. Let's just push it in the mids instead of the highs. The only thing I went and customized in this Nexus preset was once again turning off the stock effects and then going into modulation and turning on the built-in portamento. So instead of straight notes, it's bendy notes. We can also give this section more of a synth bass with some Massive X. Let's call it Bass Pad. Now let's check out the Massive X bass presets. Let's just close the filter on this a little bit more. And we'll borrow the same MIDI as the lead, but just pitch it down a little bit. And we can also duplicate it as well. I definitely feel a build-up coming in right here. Hey! We're getting there. We've done a lot of synth layers. Let's get back into doing some drums. I want to put some tropical flavor on top of this beat, and I have a perfect drum kit for that at wholeloops.com called Hot Tropics. Let's check out what kind of loops and things they have that could spice up this beat. Let's go to Hot Tropics Volume 1, Organic Loops, and let's check out. Hey. 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 Definitely jam with this one too. So all together, we got some drums that sound like this. And if you want loops that sound just like this, you can get Hot Tropics at wholeloops.com. Next thing I want to do is search for some drum fills. So let's just see what we got here. Ooh, that's already fire. I could. So now to transition out of our legato guitar. Ba-ba-dum-bum, ba-da-ba-dum-bum. Hey. Fill going into the rest of the drums. So we'll do a little break from the drums here, kind of like a build up back into a bigger beat. Next, I want to add some more impact to these downbeats, so I'm going to look up a brass stab. Oh, kind of like that. Let's drop this in here. Maybe I'll just sample something from here. Hey. So now let's search for some sweeping noises and uplifter effects, things that can just help make transitions in this arrangement. Maybe not that dramatic, but I'll go pick a nice little selection of things that sweep up and sweep down just to help this arrangement move a little bit more. Add some chants. And of course some wind chime sprinkles just to add a little magic on top. Hey. Last, I'm gonna go make a snare drum build-up that kind of makes this last big drop kind of feel special. Create some anticipation with a nice drum roll. I'll just pull one of these in. Let's just turn our release up a little bit just to get some of that reverb. And we're just gonna record a nice fast pattern in during this part. Then we'll go into the envelopes and we'll do the MIDI control, pitch bend, and let's do some low pitch that goes And then I hear a little bit of all by itself, bonk, and then it goes back into the main beat. So let's copy the rest of this over like this, and we'll copy this over like this. And we'll just skip that first beat. After dropping in a few more sweepy effects and arranging out our beat to a full minute and a half, let's turn up our speakers and rewind all the way to the beginning and take a listen to our entire pop EDM beat made from scratch. Let's go. I got that fab filter on here. build up into the final drop. Let's go. Have an EDM and pop beat produced entirely from scratch using Ableton 12 and a few of my favorite third-party instruments and plugins like Nexus, Glitter, Massive, and of course that FabFilter Pro L2 to tie it all together at the end with my master. If you want to check out any of the instruments or plugins that I used in today's video, or get your hands on Glitter by Linear Sounds to test out this next level granular delay for yourself, I'll include links in the description below and catch you guys next time in another video.